Hello, my name's Roisin and I'm sick of reading. Hello friends, welcome to my first reading vlog for my 6 weeks, 6 genres challenge. I have started with romance. As you all know from the title of this video, I am reading romance novels for a week. I think I mentioned in the announcement video for this challenge, which I will leave in the cards above in case you haven't seen it, that this is kind of easing myself into this genre challenge. The romance genre is not one that I have a huge amount of experience with, but I have dabbled in it a little bit. I mean, you could possibly consider some classic novels to be romantic, and I like aspects of romance in other genres, and I have also read The Kiss Quotient, The Bride Test, and a few of the Tessa Dare, The Duchess Deal series, which are proper romance novels. So this is not my first time reading romance, but I am trying to read a broad cross-section of romances this time and see how I get on with them. In the past, I think the most I've ever given a romance novel is 3 stars, so I'll see if I can find anything that I like more than that. So this week I am reading If I Never Met You by Mahri McFarlane, which I first saw on Lena Norm's channel. So this is set in London, and this is more of a rom-com than a romance novel. I think this is a clean romance, and it is about a woman who finds out that her ex-boyfriend, who she also works with, his new girlfriend is pregnant, and they haven't broken up for very long, so she thinks that they must have had a relationship whilst they were still together. So in order to get back some standing, she starts to fake date the law firm's playboy, who needs to find a serious girlfriend in order to be taken seriously by the bosses of the law firm. So that is a fairly standard romance genre trope, a fake dating trope, which I have enjoyed in movies like To All the Boys I've Loved Before and things like that. So I am looking forward to that, and I know how much Lena Norms has talked about how funny they are and how feminist they are, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. The second one I'm planning to read is A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole, and this is a romance novel that I think I saw on Jordan from Left on Red's channel. If it wasn't, I will tell you in the description who it actually was. This is a novel about a woman who is a scientist, and she works in a lab, and she has been in foster care all of her life, and she doesn't know anything about her background. She keeps getting these emails from an African country called Thesolo, which is an anagram of Lesotho, and telling her that she is engaged to the country's crown prince. And she doesn't believe them until all of a sudden the crown prince shows up at her doorstep pretending to be someone else. So this is another romantic trope where you have arranged marriage and where you have someone pretending to be someone else. Which is not something I generally like, but I have heard lots of good things about this novel, and it is a black romance novel. Both of the main characters are black. I think in If I Never Met You, the main character is biracial. I wanted to try that out because it is a bit different from the historical fiction that I read. And then finally, I am planning to read Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts, which is kind of a classic of the romance genre. Nora Roberts has written hundreds possibly of romance novels. She's someone who's quite well known for her romance novels, and this one came out in the 90s, I think, so it's definitely a staple of the genre to try and read Nora Roberts. I wanted to try and read something that was a bit older to see how that went, and this is about a woman who is escaping an abusive relationship, so she fakes her own death in order to escape this relationship, and she goes to this island which is all cozy and cute and starts working in the cafe and falling in love with this man. But there's also this story about how the island was created by these 3 witches when they were escaping the Salem witch trials, and there is magic involved somehow. I saw this book for the first time on Emma Just Drinking by My Shelf Channel, and she gave it 3 stars, so she was like some aspects of it but didn't love it, but I definitely wanted to try something classic. So that is my plan for this week. Please remember to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe, because this is a 6-week project, so there will be a lot more reading vlogs as well as other book recommendations and reviews. So without further ado, let's get into the vlog. Hello, this is actually the first clip I'm filming for this video, but there will probably have been a proper introduction to everything. But just got a delivery from Waterstones, so I thought I would open it on camera since I don't normally buy books, so I thought it would be good to show you. Oh, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's hard to do with one hand. There we go. Upon a Burning Throne. So this is a fantasy book and is as big as you'd expect a fantasy book to be. Christ. So this is for the fantasy edition of this 6 weeks, 6 genres series that I'm doing, and this is one of the fantasy books that I picked up. I saw it on Starla Reed's channel, and I thought it sounded really interesting, but I really didn't pay attention to the fact that it is 600 pages and really floppy. It's definitely an American style book that I've got, but it is based on Indian mythology. It's based on Indian mythology, and I'm doing a buddy read for this with Laura from Nora Reads Pages, so that should be good. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, I really didn't realise how big it is, and I'm not a fantasy reader, so. But I couldn't find the audiobook anywhere, which is how I tend to try and get through books that I'm not used to. It's not available in my country yet. The chapters look really short though. Hopefully I will manage it all right. I'm still looking a bit rough because I'm not feeling that well. I am wearing clothes, but I haven't like sorted out my hair. But I'm listening to If I Never Met You by Mahri McFarlane, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's good, it's light, it's funny. I like that it's a rom-com rather than like a sexy smutty romance. It's definitely a clean romance, and it's a cliche, like it's a fake dating cliche, which I do enjoy a bit of fake dating. But it's well done. It is funny, and I like the way it talks about feminism and race, and the way that straight relationships can fall into like gendered dynamics, even if it's not to do with money or chores. There are other things that be gender dynamics, and also about neglect and how that can work in a relationship and making yourself smaller for someone else. One thing that did just annoy me though, the thing that always annoys me in a romance, is when someone is just so oblivious and they're like, he must really not want to be my friends after this, and that's why he's acting weird. And it's like, no, it's obviously because he likes you. And I just wish that they wouldn't put that in there, like the thinking in that way, because it's just such a cliche. And I know the whole setup is a cliche, but I feel like that in particular just bothers me every time. So I'm gonna get back to listening to it now. But hello, it is 22:01 now, and we are having a thunderstorm, and I love thunderstorms so much. So I think they're perfect for listening to romances. Actually, it's a bit epic, isn't it? Just trying to upload a video, and it's been uploading for 4 hours and it is only 46% uploaded. This is ridiculous. So I'm currently listening to A Princess in Theory, and I don't like it at all. I will talk to you more when I'm like dressed and presentable. I finished If I Never Met You, and I am about 2 hours from the end of A Princess in Theory. It's quite hard to vlog when everything is an audiobook because I film on my phone and my audiobooks are on my phone. I just feel real sick. I am really considering DNFing this book, The Princess in Theory. Like, the beginning was good. I'm going to talk about it now. I'm going to properly talk about it. So the beginning was good. I really liked the way that it talked about like microaggressions in the workplace, women in STEM, being a black woman in STEM. I thought that was good. And then, of course, the prince has to go and hide his identity and have sex with her while pretending to be someone else, which I don't really think is right, and possibly is sexual assault because she has not consented to have sex with who he actually is. Anyway, I don't like that, and I also thought that the sex scenes were a bit gross. She kept describing his thick fingers. Thick fingers? Are thick fingers sexy? Not to me. It was all just a bit grim. The sex scenes were really not sexy. It's really cheesy. The insta-love is so annoying. It's like the fated, meant to be thing, and I just don't like it, which is disappointing because I really enjoyed If I Never Met You. I gave that 4 stars actually, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Like, not perfect because obviously it's still cheesy and predictable, but kind of what you want from a rom-com anyway, and I thought the characters were really well developed and interesting. Obviously things turned out in an obvious way. I really liked the way they dealt with microaggressions, being a black woman in lawyer, like how she's treated, and especially being a woman, I thought that was much more addressed, but it was really well addressed, and I thought she was a really complex character, like not the 2D cutouts with these intense emotions of a princess in theory. It felt a lot more realistic and a lot more real, and the conflict felt more real as well, so I liked that, and I don't like this. I don't know if I just don't like smutty books, not because I'm a prude about it, but because I feel like it's really hard to do well. A lot of the time it just feels awkward or weird or unsexy or really like clinical, and I think a lot of the time people don't do it that well. But then I did think the smut scenes in the Kiss Quotient and the other one, The Bride Test, were pretty good. I just didn't think the stories were that good, so maybe it's not that. Maybe I like If I Never Met You better because it's by a British author and more of a British romance sensibility that's a bit less cheesy than the American style. I don't know, or maybe it's just these 2 books. Maybe it's just that A Princess in Theory, but I've heard it like got good reports on BookTube, so I thought it was going to be alright. It's so bad. So I might just put it down for now and then maybe come back to it later and try Nora Roberts, a kind of classic of the genre, Dance Upon the Air. So I might be moving on to that because it's also been described as being a bit like Gilmore Girls, which kind of feels like what I need on a day when my stomach is just, yeah. I just did a workout, which is why I'm all red and sweaty. I feel much better. Doing a workout always helps me feel much better. I can get in my head about them. I'm talking so fast because I'm a little bit out of breath from the workout, but I can get in my head about working out sometimes, but I do it because it's so much fun and because I feel like this afterwards, like I could conquer the world. I started listening to Three Sisters Island. I can't remember if that's what it's called, the name of the book, or the name of the series that the book comes from, but it's good so far. Kind of fun, kind of silly, more magical than I was expecting, but I'll get back to you when I've listened to a little bit, and I'm glad I stopped listening to A Princess in Theory because that was just making me so angry because it was so bad. My boyfriend bought me a tiny ring light and I'm just trying it out. It's like when you clip to your phone, so I'm seeing if it will help with nighttime filming, but not bad. Let's see the difference. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Hello, good morning. I am in pain. Seems to be the theme of this vlog. Today is the 19th of June, which is Juneteenth, which is it's not actually a public holiday in America, but people want it to be a public holiday in America to celebrate the end of slavery in the US. And even though it wasn't actually the end of slavery, it's a whole complicated issue, but because it is Juneteenth, Jessie from Bow Ties and Books and some other booktubers who I'll put on the screen here are hosting a mini blackathon, 48-hour readathon to read queer black books because it is Pride Month, so we're trying to read LGBTQIA plus books, and then also it is Juneteenth, so we're focusing on black LGBTQIA plus books. So I'm putting a pause in my romance reading in order to read queer black books because the only queer black romance that I could find a recommendation for was from the same series that A Princess in Theory is from, and I really haven't enjoyed A Princess in Theory, so I really don't think I want to move on to that. So on script, I've got Patsy, which is by Nicole Dennis-Benn and is about a Caribbean immigrant to the US, and I think she gets married when she doesn't want to. She's a sapphic woman. I'm not entirely sure if she's lesbian or bisexual or what, so I'm just about to get into that. I've seen it recommended everywhere on Bookstagram in the next 48 hours, and then on Sunday I can finish Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts. I haven't decided yet whether to make these 2 days a vlog of their own, or to include them in my romance vlog, but you will know because you are in the future. Hello, of course some bloke starts mowing his lawn. Yep, mowing his lawn as soon as I start videoing. But it's quite a bit later now. I filmed a video, edited, uploaded it, had a shower, which is why my makeup is now all over my face, and put my PJs back on. Well, I'm going to read Patsy by Nicole Dennis-Benn. I'm going to read that on my iPad, mostly so that I have something to film. I'll show you my setup. So I've got Patsy here on Scribd. I'm not a huge ebook reader, but the only way I could find some black queer literature was on Scribd. So, and I couldn't find any audiobooks of it. So I'm reading ebooks and we'll see how well I do. And then this morning, Morgan Long put up a read with me, which I've never listened to before, but I have been using ASMR rooms to read. So I made myself a little playlist of some Morgan Long, Jen Campbell and Monica King read with me, so I can have some company whilst I'm doing my reading. Should be good. And I've got my squash. What more can I possibly need? Just got in the bath. I really want to get one of those bath benches. Not showing you my face. I really want to get one of those bath benches where I can like put my book or my iPad as it is at the moment down and read, and not worry about dropping it in the bath. I'm usually alright with not dropping things in the bath, but it does worry you sometimes, doesn't it? Especially when it's technology. And right now I'm holding my iPad and my phone, which doesn't seem like the safest thing to do, but there you go. I'm watching Jen Campbell's Read With Me in a Thunderstorm. And in the bath. It's a bit cold. Might have to warm up the bath a little bit. Yeah, I'm on chapter 3 of Patsy so far, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's really readable, and I'm really intrigued, and I love the characters so far. And it's already, Patsy's already talked about Cecily, who she was in love with, and it's quite like obviously queer right from the start, which is good. And I'm enjoying it. The setting, like the characters' motivations are really clear and who they are, which I think is really impressive in such a short space of time. So I'm going to keep reading and I'll get back to you in a bit. So I have washed my hair, which is great. I'm really enjoying Patsy. I'm about 15% of the way through and it's 9:30 now. I still need to hang out the clothes from the wash today, but apart from that I'm just going to be reading for the next 2 hours. So I imagine I'll get like 30% of the way through by the end of the day, which isn't a lot, but I think I can probably finish it tomorrow, this is only the Juneteenth Blackathon is only a 48-hour readathon, so reading more than one book is not really something that I possibly find very easy, but if I do manage to do it, I also have Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, which is only like 150 pages long, so hopefully that would be manageable. Maybe that would be potentially manageable if I spend a lot of time reading tomorrow, but I need to film a couple of videos. Hello, so it is 3 p.m. This seems to keep happening to me lately. I keep having a lot of things to do, meaning to do them on one day and then not doing them that day because I don't feel great, and saying, oh, I'll do it the next day, and then feeling worse the next day. I've spent all morning feeling intensely fatigued, feeling a bit better now, a bit more awake, which is why I'm filming myself, because I can actually like muster some personality. I'm gonna read for a few hours now in bed. I haven't done any reading really today. I'm gonna read more of Patsy for a couple of hours, and then I'm gonna film some videos when it's a bit later, because it's the longest day of the year today, so if I need to film at like 7 p.m, it's not really gonna be a problem. So I actually managed to get up, get dressed, and film a video. I feel a bit better now. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed about the potential of filming this video, especially with feeling a bit subpar today. But if you recognise this setup, you'll know which video it was from, and I'm glad I did it, and I feel a lot better now. So it seems to me that before midday at the moment, I'm just not functioning properly. Yeah, 6:10, so I'm going to get back to reading for a few hours. Hello. Well, I've been trying to read, but I literally just fell asleep. I'm finding it really hard to keep my eyes open and read. Fatigue is real today. I'm about 40% away through Patsy, so I don't think I'll finish that either, but we'll try and power through. Hello, it is Sunday, it is 1:45. I am in bed because I started my period yesterday and my stomach hurts. Not my stomach, my womb. So I'm tired and in womb pain. I'm editing my video. So today, I'm going to try and finish Patsy because I didn't finish it during the Blackathon 48 hours, but I'm going to try and finish it today, and I'm also going to try and finish Dance Upon the Air, and I am officially DNFing A Princess in Theory. It's just not good. And I don't have time, and I can't be bothered to finish it. But tomorrow I will do a wrap up of this whole week, and I will talk you through properly why I DNF'd it, what I hated about it, and we will have a good rant. But for now, I'm just going to be editing. Right, so it is 7 o'clock now. My video for today is up. I still need to work out, and I want to watch the BBC miniseries of The Luminaries that is coming out tonight. The Luminaries is one of my favourite books, so I'm really excited to see it adapted for TV. I also obviously have books to finish, but I'm not going to be able to finish both of them tonight, which is Patsy and Dance Upon the Air. Since this is my reading romances for the week video, I'm going to try and finish Dance Upon the Air because that was supposed to be done in a week, and then I can finish Patsy maybe tomorrow. So I'm going to get on with that. It's an audiobook, so I'm going to be listening to that for the rest of the evening, so I better get right down to it. Hello again, it's me from the intro. Spoiler, I filmed this at the end of the week, not the beginning. Okay, so let's wrap up these books. So the first book I read was If I Never Met You by Mahri McFarlane, and I gave it 4 stars. So that is the best rating that I've ever given a romance book. It was not steamy at all. Maybe that had something to do with it, I don't know. But I liked how intelligent it was. It was definitely a very feminist book, and I liked the way that it discussed relationship dynamics and how you can make yourself feel smaller in a relationship. It also discussed gender dynamics and how they play out in relationships, even when the money is not necessarily unequal or the chores are not necessarily unequal. There are still ways that people enact those traditional gender roles, even in the way that Mahri, as a mixed race woman, was not putting herself forward for roles in the industry she worked in as a lawyer because she didn't see other people like her in that. She couldn't see herself in that position. And I thought the way that it talked about microaggressions at work was really good as well. Of course, the romance was a bit contrived because it's a fake dating situation, and I don't think people really do that in real life, do they? If you know anyone who's done it in real life, please let me know in the comments because I would be fascinated. And of course, there is the conflict at the end, which felt a bit put on. It didn't seem real, and also the pride. I just can't stand the pride of men in romance novels. Like, it just drives me mad. But yeah, apart from that, I liked it. I thought they did a good job of making her ex-boyfriend unlikable without being a terrible person, like without being a monster. He's still done bad things, but I like the way they portrayed that type of person who always makes themselves, oh well, I was doing what I thought was best, and I was just taken over by my emotions, and you can't really blame me. That sort of, I'm sorry, but you can't blame me for it. Yeah, I thought that was really well done. I felt the characters were really alive. I liked the way that it talked about friendship, and it put friendship and your relationships with your female friends at the forefront, and also the way it talked about parenthood and how that has an effect on you throughout your life. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. The next book I read, or read most of, was A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole, and I ended up DNFing it. Unfortunately, I found a book that I really didn't like this week. I liked the setup, thought the setup was okay, and I really, really liked the main character, whose name has fallen out of my head, unfortunately. I liked her, and I liked having a female scientist in the book, and I liked the way it talked about microaggressions at work, again, and being a black woman in STEM. I thought that was really well done and well explored at the very beginning of the book. And then the romance happens. I really don't like romance where someone's pretending to be someone else and then they have sex. I don't like that at all. It's not sexy, and it's like, she hasn't consented to have sex with this man. She's consented to have sex with a different man, and I don't think that that's right. And the betrayal and everything was ridiculous. I also thought that there was still like 2 hours left of the audiobook, and it just felt like it was dragging out. So there's the moment where she finds out that who he really is, and then it just keeps going and going and going, and you kind of want it to wrap up quicker than that. I didn't understand his reasoning behind doing what he did. I thought that was ridiculous, and the sex scenes were the least sexy sex scenes I have ever read. She kept describing his thick fingers and how great his thick fingers were. All I got in my head was this picture of Prince Charles. Really not something that's particularly sexy. I thought the sex scenes were gross. So all in all, it felt contrived, the characters didn't feel realistic, and the raping was a problem for me, and the sex scenes weren't sexy. So, and also it was really repetitive, over and over again, same thing. So I just ended up not finishing it. And then finally I read Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts, and I gave that 3 stars. So I really enjoyed the beginning and the setup of these books. I feel like they have a struggle with follow through sometimes. Even If I Never Met You, which I enjoyed, the ending was not my favourite part of it, and is why it got knocked down, because even though I like the characters, I just felt like the wrap up suffers from the fact that you know what's going to happen. I suppose maybe that's the problem. But we're talking about Dance Upon the Air, and I liked the characters. I liked the main character, whose name, again, has fallen out of my head. I'm not great with character names. She was great. I liked the setting. I thought it was really cosy and lovely. It was very 90s. This whole book was very, very 90s. One of the things I struggled with was this woman has been domestically abused, and her treatment by the romantic lead in relation to that is not very nice at all. Like, he's like, I would never hit you. I hate it when you flinch. It makes me so angry. Like, I'm sorry, but she's gone through a trauma and you are just treating her with aggression. There is emotional abuse. You don't have to be hitting people in order to be abusing them, and I don't think he's treating her very nicely. He doesn't have any patience with her, and his sister also blames her. It's like, oh, why can't you get out of it? Like, you can just leave. So I don't think the way that it treats victims is very good at all. And I also felt like the ending was rushed, and it was just sort of suddenly over, suddenly sorted, and I think that was something to do with the magic aspect of it, which I didn't really love that much. So that is my wrap up for romance. How do I feel about it? Well, I can enjoy romance novels, and they are good escapism, but from all the ones I've read so far, I don't think romance is ever going to be my favourite genre. If I hear one where the premise sounds interesting, I might try and read it again, and I will probably read another Mahri McFarlane at some point, but they're never going to be books that I get excited about reading, and they're going to be books that I probably end up reading when I've had a string of difficult, like intense intellectual books, and I want something to like be my light, happy, easy read. That's probably when I would pick up a romance, because it's when I watch a romantic comedy. I don't have anything against sex scenes, but I think they are really hard to write. I think that they can often be cheesy. It's hard to know what's sexy for a lot of people. So things like Dance Upon the Air was just quite vague. So it was not sexy, but it was also not sexy. At the same time, it was just a bit vague. And A Princess in Theory was gross for me and too like clinical, which I think can be difficult as well in reading. Although I did like that they put condoms in and peeing after sex. Very important when they put them in there. That was good. Yeah, I think that sex scenes are really, really tricky to write and get right. And so I don't know if they're going to work for me very often. Maybe more on the clean end would be better, because it just takes me out of the story a lot of the time when the sex scenes are gross, and it just makes me not be interested in the relationship because I don't feel the sexual tension. Princess in Theory also just rushed straight into bed and I didn't get the build-up of tension between them. So that is my conclusion with romance novels. I will probably be reading more in the future, but they're not something I'm going to rush out and grab because they don't really appeal to me that much. But if I ever need to take my mind off of things, then that is what I will be going for. Next Saturday will be my vlog for reading sci-fi for a week. I'm a bit intimidated, but I'm going in there bravely. I will be reading Frankenstein for a classic sci-fi, the first ever sci-fi. I will be reading Brave New World for a modern classic sci-fi. I will be reading Illuminae for a booktube favourite, and I will be reading Binti by Nadia Corafor for a non-white sci-fi book. So that is my plans for next week. I hope you will come back again. Please like this video if you enjoyed this vlog, and remember to subscribe because I make new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!